out there who have cans, bring them on up here. Our next speaker is going to be Ted Walker.
And to see that this is coming down on them too. Anybody that stands up to fight for their rights, as supposedly guaranteed under the Constitution, is going to be in the sights of some rifle, a rifle union members. And if they really don't get their stuff together right now with us, others.
Yeah, there's one thing I want to say, and then we're going to close the rally. This country will never be the same. You've got those people that run this country, the ruling class, split. They don't know what to do. You got folks, they ain't together. They're more together than we are, but they ain't as together as they used to be. And what we've got to do is take our movement, take all those campuses that we've taken over, and use them to work with that organization to build black participation against the war and against this genocide that's coming down on our heads. We want to do something instead of saying, well, those white folks ain't doing nothing for us. We want to get off their tail and start doing something for black people themselves, to come over and sign up with us, and we'll try to create a viable organization that's going to make it impossible for the policemen to even appear on the street, much less with guns, but in their uniform.
Well, okay.
Hello. Since his death, you know, we all gonna make it. I mean, not everybody, but the ones that you know.
Never mind.
Wait. Hold on. Okay, wait, come on. I got it. Go, shut Hold it up. Okay, here you go.
One of our black leaders.
Watch it. Y'all watch it.
Lady, she gave me a bomb. What channel?
Halle, ain't funky now. Early in the morning, you know I had to get in the road. I got on a freight train, man didn't know which way to go. Get ready. Tell me now, baby, darling, you doing me wrong. I just can't stand it, baby.
Close that mouth.
Ain't go on, ain't funky. Ain't it funky now?
Yeah. Hey, hold it up right there.
To celebrate.
Will be Andrew Pulley, who's the congressional candidate in the 7th District of the Socialist Workers Party.
South of the Canadian border is victory for black people. The same type of oppression that we get in Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, we get it in San Francisco, Oakland, and Berkeley, and every other place you go. You might find a few exceptions here every once in a while. The only difference is that it's very overtly so down south, and it's very concealed up here. The other segment among the white population.
you know, we don't want nice things. We don't want no, you know, beautiful land. We are talking about the liberation of the people, and that's what we all want at this particular time. When Malcom you that are represented here today, that the thing that baby, we got to get at those cats. You hear me? That's your job and my job. This is why we got to get organized, brother, because any man who is not for my liberation and the liberations of all oppressed and suppressed people is definitely working to dehumanize those people. And I'm going to work as long as I live for the humanization of mankind, because I am not going to stand by and see my brothers killed in the South, whether it be in Mississippi, Alabama, or Georgia. If it means that I must go and join them, I will in fact leave today to join them. Now let me thing that might occur. Somebody said, what are you all going to do? Well, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We get your bears to be. I want everybody to know, no matter where you're listening, if it's Alioto, Governor Reagan, or Nixon, or anybody else, you can't work out my plans for me, baby.
Yeah. One thing that's very important, I give, and that will pose a vital question of who's going to run this country.
All the forces necessary to revolutionize.
And that of working with every sector of the society, women, country, to mobilize the American.
Right on, brother. Right on, brother. I'll tell you. Right on. Prime example of what could someone who is moving in a leftist direction, and he is a prime example of what could happen to someone who saw the necessity of not organizing peacefully. Peace will not get you nowhere. You can shout your slogans of peace. You can chant peace from here until eternity. But peace alone and the slogans of peace alone will not get you your freedom. What you have to begin to relate to is the necessity of armed, directed, organized violence directed against the repressive arms of the state. Is learn to shoot. The man shoots 20,000 rounds a week. He's an expert. You cannot talk about defending your lives in your communities. You cannot talk about ripping off political prisoners unless you learn how to shoot, unless you learn the art of weaponry, unless you learn the art of explosives. For those of you who are in the audience who have any expertise relating to medical teams, to medical equipment, to doctors, to nurses, to lab technicians, organize into community medical cadres. Now in New Haven, what is happening, the entire black community in New Haven is armed. The entire black community in New Haven is prepared to deal with the repressive arm of the state by any means necessary if the other New Haven 8 is sent to the electric chair. But the only way in which they are doing this is organizing themselves into the community. There are a lot of communities to relate to today,
as members and participants in this overall struggle of blacks and of members of the third world. But I want to just suggest something else that slightly overpowers what the brother just said. Political prisoner has so much weight. When one of us are incarcerated, it's not political prisoner, it's prisoner of war. Understand that concept. This is the difference. Prisoner of war. Meaning that we are trying to approach the entire world.
Brothers and sisters, I'm not going to stand up here and rap a long time and give you a lot of dialogue, because we've had it for days and days with dialogue. But I just want to clarify a point. When I spoke at Hastings Law School, I did it for a friend because I was at Kent and I saw what went down. But I didn't do it to close the schools, because no one knows better than I that how long we've struggled to keep our schools open. So as black people, we needed the schools rolling. I was just trying to emphasize a point. But when the mass media realized that a brother, especially a black brother, had witnessed what was getting down, they want to involve us into this bougie liberation struggle that these cats are trying to run down. So I wanted to clarify the point of why you didn't see any black brothers and sisters at Kent participating in the thing. When the National Guards were called into Kent State University, they were called from Canton, Ohio. The examiner came to my job and wanted to interview me about what went down. Did I see the cat shoot? Did I see the set? I said, hell yeah, I saw him. He pulled his piece and he said, fire. But it wasn't strange to me, it was strange to them little white boys and girls who were running around there to hear him fire. Because the Canton National Guard were the same Canton National Guard that fired on the people in Cleveland in 1967. They were the same National Guard that fired in Akron, Ohio in 1968. And Brother Hummer had ripped off some people in Cleveland, so they moved on into Cleveland and fired on the people in Cleveland. But the white students at Kent State University were not prepared for this. And when the man lowered his pieces and started shooting at them, they stood there in horror.